Why do you wear a veil during Mass?
I feel it's very nice to respect God and to show modesty. And I also think it helps people pay attention better when they're distracted and looking around at people. When they see the veil, it helps them more to know that they're in Mass and they can concentrate on the Mass.
In 2018, my daughter had half of her brain removed to save her life, and I struggled with talking to God. I know that we're supposed to pray and we're supposed to say the rosary, and our Catholic faith is there for us, but it was very difficult. And I needed to figure out a way to not have my mind wander and to step into a church. And I was going to church and I was going to Mass, but I found myself walking out of Mass not understanding what just happened, and I'm a lifelong Catholic. So on All Souls Day in 2018, I decided to take my kids to Assumption Grotto, and I had a scarf because it was cold outside, and I had an overwhelming feeling to put it on my head, to say, you've been praying for a way to get closer to God, you need more answers, and this is going to be a way to do it. So it was just like a black scarf over my head, and I walked in, and it was difficult, but something happened. I walked into the church, and I had my 3 little kids with me. I was by myself, my husband was working, and what transformed the Mass for me was that everything around me disappeared. I didn't see the people sitting over to the left, I didn't see the people sitting over to the right. All I saw was the Lord and the tabernacle and the crucifix, and I saw the priest. And as Mass continued, I realized this feels different. Something feels different. It's drawing me to focus, and that's what I needed because I was struggling. They always say it's the hardest to pray when you have to pray the hardest, and it's true. So when consecration occurred and I bowed my head, I noticed that the scarf fell around me like so, because at the time it was a scarf, not a veil. And when I looked at my hands, I felt this warm rush come over my body. And when I looked up, it almost became like a tunnel vision of seeing the elevation of the host and the elevation of the chalice. And I knew in that moment, I said, I'll never not wear a veil again. Because when I wear it, it transcends me beyond the world outside of the doctors and the money problems and the family problems and the stress of the world. And I became present with just the Lord. And over the years, I've grown in such great devotion that it is my time with God when I go to Mass. And I don't even notice. I mean, I love the sounds of kids in church, but you get to a point where you don't even hear it anymore. It doesn't even bother you. I mean, there could be kids crying for 20 minutes and you have no idea, because it literally helps you focus on why you're there. And someday I would love to be given the gift to see the choirs of angels and the souls in purgatory and the saints all sitting beneath the cross. But I know that with wearing my veil, that will get me there. It helps transcend me to that point. And my girls wear veils too. I didn't make them. They asked for it, so when they saw me doing it, I let them do it. And I noticed a profound difference in them as well. As they walk in, they kind of move past being in the outside world and the world that tells them, how unimportant Mass is. Sports are more important, school's more important, friends are more important, sleep is more important than going to Mass. But for them, at least now, they're only 9 and 7. She's 7 now. They're only 9 and 7, but so that's why I wear a veil.